Hello and welcome to another episode of Never Seen It. This is a podcast where we watch movies that we haven't seen. I'm your host today, Betsy, and with me as always is Trent.
Hello and welcome.
Hello and welcome to you, Trent. We are starting a brand new month. It is November now, which means we're also starting a brand new series. And November is a time of gratitude and thanks. And what better way to show our gratitude than doing an actor series? But not just any actor, the man of the hour, the man of the month. I said it at the end of the last episode. The T in Thanksgiving stands for Tom. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Hanksgiving.
Hanksgiving.
Here on Never Seen It.
Happy Hanksgiving, everyone.
We are going to be doing 5 movies on the Wednesdays in November, starting in the 80s, 90s, and so on, all the way up to the 2020s. 5 movies total of Tom Hanks's massive, massive movie career. So, Trent, we mostly picked this because, it's funny. It's a dumb, stupid thing we could do.
We explained it in the last episode during our Exorcist show, and we came up with the name first and then kind of fleshed it out from there.
Built the series around the already existing name.
Yeah.
But, of course, you and I are fans. How can you not be a fan of Tom Hanks? I don't know a single person who is like, ew, Tom Hanks, he's terrible.
That is just the consensus amongst, pretty much everybody who has worked with him or directed him or whatever. Anybody who's worked with Tom Hanks or like he's on a talk show or something like that, he is a very giving actor, he is a very generous person, and he's just an all-around great guy. And so far, nothing has come out to challenge that belief.
No, and like a couple of years ago, he was the first major celebrity that came out and said, I've got COVID, and the world had this moment of panic, like, don't take Tom Hanks from us!
Because this is when everybody was still freaking out about it. We didn't really know anything about it.
It was new.
Yeah. I remember that night very vividly because I was out with my office. We were entertaining one of the vice presidents had come to town to visit our office, and we were just out shooting the shit, and we were kind of talking about COVID a little bit, but this is when the NHL shut down, and then the NBA canceled all their games, and shit just started to hit the fan, and we were all panicking, and we were talking to this VP guy. He turned into, hey, VP mode, we need to spin up all of our contingency plans about, okay, do we need to bring people in? Do we need to start up this work from home thing, our VPN? It was all happening at the same time, so yeah.
And then you find out Tom Hanks has it, and you're like, no, not Tom!
I was on Twitter the entire night, and I was the one who announced it to the table. Oh shit, Tom Hanks has it.
Yeah, so that is the level of respect and love for this man that neither of us has ever met and is unlikely to ever meet.
Yeah.
But he'll be running in the park and take wedding photos with people and sign autographs, and he just shows up and pays bills for people. He's just a genuinely nice guy. That is the reputation he has.
He's like the non-weird Bill Murray type. Or Bill Murray will show up at somebody's wedding just because he wants to.
Meanwhile, Tom Hanks, he's one of those guys that has been around for 40 plus years at this point.
Yeah.
He's done TV, he's done movies, he's gotten to this threshold where he does not have to act. And we were looking at his filmography to get ready for this series, trying to find movies that, in fact, we have not seen, because they do exist. But my God, have we seen so many Tom Hanks movies?
And I was a little surprised. I was kind of expecting him to have more of a filmography, but there really isn't. The movies that are the really big ones that kind of everybody's seen, but we were able to find, 4 of them so far. We haven't figured out what we're going to do for the 2020s yet because movies are still coming out and there just aren't that many of them yet. But we have been able to choose 5 of them so far. We're starting in the 1980s. Betsy, what are we watching today?
Today we are going back to 1984, a movie that is about to celebrate its 40th anniversary.
Yep.
We are watching Splash.
Splash.
Because I have seen Splash and Trent has not.
I have never seen the entirety of Splash, no. However, I do remember I was a kid, and I feel like I was at a babysitter's house or maybe my aunt and uncle's or something, and they had Splash on in the background. And I just thought it was kind of a silly thing. I kind of knew what the premise was of the movie because, hey, here's Daryl Hannah in a kind of a suit like with a tail and everything, right?
Well, what is she, Trent?
She's a mermaid.
She's a mermaid,
Yeah.
yep.
So by this point, I feel like I had seen like The Little Mermaid, so I was familiar with the concept of a mermaid. I have no idea what year this was, but at the very least, I kind of got the concept. I never actually sat down to watch the movie, but I knew it was a comedy.
So you know it's a comedy.
Yeah.
You know she's a mermaid. Do you know anybody else who's in it or vaguely what happens?
Hell no. I know that it's the two actors. It's Tom Hanks and Daryl Hannah. I know that somehow she becomes a human. She sprouts legs, I guess, and hilarity ensues. I have no idea what happens after that.
Well, fair enough. I know you know who the director is because we had a discussion about this not that long ago.
Oh, geez, I don't even remember.
He's somebody who was in a movie we watched recently.
Is it Harold Ramis?
No, somebody who was in American Graffiti who then ended up being a director.
Oh, it's a Ron Howard thing.
It's a Ron Howard movie.
I forgot. Holy shit.
Yeah, this is like early days of Ron Howard.
Yeah.
So you get to experience what his directing style was in 1984 when he was a baby.
Complete non sequitur. We have to watch Cocoon one day.
One day we will watch Cocoon.
Someday.
You
haven't seen that, have you?
No.
Neither have I.
No, another early days one for him. Maybe if we ever do a Ron Howard series.
We might have to.
We might have to because he's got enough now that we haven't watched. But that is neither here nor there for today. Today we are kicking off our gratitude for Hanksgiving. Hanksgiving begins today and now with Splash. We're going to go watch it and we will be right back. We're back. I am happy to report, Trent, that I am not a fish. But what did you think of Splash?
You know, no offense to you and your human body, but being a person that can't swim, did I miss out on meeting a fish lady and being able to swim with her and not have to worry about breathing?
Possibly.
I guess.
Because, magic happens at the end of the movie and everybody lives happily ever after.
And there's the city of Atlantis. Probably
a magical underwater secret city full of mermaids.
Yeah, I've heard this story before.
Duh, Trent. I mean, it's possible. He too could not swim. He had a whole incident.
I can't swim. I had an incident when I was a child.
Yeah.
And it scarred me for life, and I can't swim to this day.
All you needed was a mermaid, and you are stuck with me.
I needed Daryl Hannah.
So yeah, what did you think of that?
That was really good. Name me a more affable actor and man than Tom Hanks. And this entire series is going to be us talking up Tom Hanks and his talents and his personality and everything else. But again, name me another guy who could play this role in the way that the director wanted him to play it.
Well, these were two guys kind of coming up at the same time because Ron Howard has been known as this child actor forever. And he's now getting into his 20s, 30s. I don't know exactly how old he was when he did this, but this was his first big directorial movie. If you look at his filmography, he had made movies before this, but this was the first hit.
Yeah.
This is the one that they went, okay, Ron Howard, that guy can direct movies. And then it started being like bam, bam, bam after this. And you've got Tom Hanks, who up to this point pretty much had only done Bosom Buddies.
Yeah.
And he hadn't really become a movie star, and he still didn't become a movie star after this movie. It was still a few years where he was making a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah, he didn't become bankable until after this movie, and they realized, oh, we can use him in other things. He's not just a comedic actor, which we're gonna find out in later decades when we cover the
Oscar era.
When we cover the stuff where he's winning Oscars for everything. But in this, you can see some of the range that he is going to show us later. He's playing a romantic lead, which is what we're going to basically see nothing but in the 90s with Meg Ryan for every other movie.
Yeah, he has a whole phase of that in the 90s.
Exactly. And he's gotten, again, we're going to talk about this later, but he has all of these different phases of his career where in the 80s he was the comedic actor, and in the 90s he graduated into more dramatic roles, but he kept some of the leading man and like romantic romantic comedy stuff.
Well, I think a lot of people doubted him in the 90s. They were like, well, he can't do drama.
Yeah,
he's
the guy
goofy
from
guy.
He's the guy from Bosom Buddies. Come on.
He's the guy from Splash, which I think is really unjustified because when you're looking at this movie, like, I believe everything he's doing. He is bought into this premise, and he is very tapped into those parts of his abilities where I believe he is angry. I believe he is in love. I believe all of these things that he is doing.
And even just like beyond the love story, I believe that, he and his brother inherited this produce business and he's working at all hours of the day trying to really keep this going. And his brother is kind of a fuck up because that's kind of a common story too.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a lot of tropes of romantic comedies in this movie. You've got the best friend, in this case, who is his brother.
Right.
You've got this wacky, like, sidekick story where, like, Eugene Levy has this running gag where he keeps getting more and more injured. That is such a goofy old movie type
it
thing.
kind of is, yeah.
But to bring it back to Tom Hanks, he is utterly charming in this movie.
Like I said, the word is affable.
He is very affable. He is adorable. He's, 27 years old when he makes this movie. Mm-hmm. And he's playing against Daryl Hannah, who's just throwing herself at him, and he's eating it up. And I just smile through this whole movie. I cannot help myself. It is like the most saccharine, goofy, adorable romantic comedy.
I wouldn't even call it saccharine because I hate stuff like that.
You do.
Yeah, so I would say it's more like, okay, Tom Hanks isn't necessarily like a traditionally handsome and like attractive person. He's not ugly.
He's not a hunk.
But you're not going to see Daryl Hannah, of all people, throwing themselves at him.
Just because she is like this beautiful young woman?
Yeah, like she is a beautiful model, naked on the street, coming up to Tom Hanks of all people and just making out with him at the drop of a hat.
Well, let's talk, since we're on that topic, Daryl Hannah. So this is, again, like really early in her career.
Yep.
I don't think she had really made a big movie. And for her to be in this movie, she is a really modern choice for 1984. The way she is styled, the way she moves, the fact that her name is Madison. Like, all of these things made her a really unique actress to star in this movie, which doesn't feel like that today watching it, but I've heard stories that at the time, that was kind of a wild casting choice.
In what way? Like,
I don't know, just the way...
She's just young and she's not like an 80s person?
I think it's more she was so modern for 1984. Like, she was really ahead of her time, and like the fashion and things that she is wearing in this movie.
Okay.
I don't know, just I've heard that she was kind of at the forefront of what was going on in the 80s.
We were reading like the name Madison was really not used for girls up until 1984 when this movie came out.
Yeah.
And I'll say this, I know plenty of Madisons.
When he says in the movie, well, that's not a name, but she says, I like it.
Yeah.
That has spawned an entire generation of people naming their children Madison.
Of girls, yeah.
Little girls named Madison didn't exist before 1984.
Yeah.
And now look at the fucking census. It is like a top 10 name for a really long time. At least, oh God, like in the last 20 years maybe?
Yeah, probably.
I think it took about that long for it to crack the top of the name list. But it has pretty much stayed in that range, in the top 100 girl names in at least the United States.
Sure.
But yes, you've got these two, Daryl Hannah, Tom Hanks, kind of new stars, making this romantic comedy about a man who falls in love with a mermaid, but he doesn't know she's a mermaid. She just says, I can only be here for 6 days until the moon is full.
Of course, that old story.
Yeah, because you need to put parameters on it. You need to build some tension.
You need stakes. You need a timer here.
Yeah, because otherwise they're just going to fuck all week and then get married, I guess, and everything is the same as any other romantic comedy.
But we can get into this later, but what's the deal with the 6-day clock? I don't get that.
It's just happens to be when she leaves, I guess.
It's an arbitrary thing. It's like when you go on your pilgrimage and you have 6 days or 7 days, however long it is, to go out into the world and learn, and then you have to come back.
Oh, it's Rumspringa?
Yes!
She's having a Rumspringa.
Yes, that's exactly that.
Or it also could be kind of like werewolves. She has up until the full moon. She literally says, when the moon is full, that's it. And this is a proto Little Mermaid. If you're thinking about the storyline of The Little Mermaid, which came out in 1989, there are a lot of things that are similar. Now, obviously, The Little Mermaid is adapted from Hans Christian Andersen's story, so you can logically say that they took a little bit of that for Splash as well.
I suppose, and we were also reading that Ariel, the character, was supposed to be a blonde in that cartoon, but they changed her to a redhead so that she wasn't just like Daryl Hannah.
Yeah, suddenly we can't have the Daryl Hannah look. It has to be Alyssa Milano.
Alyssa Milano? What's that about?
So they actually, when they were designing the model for Ariel in the late 80s, who better to pick as a kind of base model than Alyssa Milano?
She
was
no idea.
A big deal in the late 80s. So a lot of her design is based on her.
Well, this is kind of fucked up because you haven't seen Charmed. We talked a lot about Charmed in the Craft episode. There are a couple of episodes in Charmed where Alyssa Milano is a mermaid. She is transformed into a mermaid. I'm not kidding.
There was a lot of mermaids in the culture in the 80s. I don't know what that's about.
I don't know.
Like we were, again, reading behind the scenes. There was another movie that was in the works called Mermaid in 1983-84.
Yeah, that it was going to star Warren Beatty.
They were rushing this one into production to beat that one. And then that one got scrapped, and so it never even got made.
Well, shit.
But yeah, that's really unusual that there were that many mermaid things in a 5-year span.
Wasn't there another Disney movie had to do with Atlantis or something in the 90s?
Yeah, it's called Atlantis.
Yeah.
But yeah, another underwater. But those were people. They weren't fish people.
Yeah, it's not mermaid stuff.
No.
Anyway, we're way off topic.
Now we're going way off topic. But yeah, so you got Daryl Hannah, you've got Tom Hanks. Lovely casting. I think they have great chemistry together. I was enjoying the fact that this beautiful blonde woman is just throwing herself at him.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of going with it.
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
Your girlfriend just broke up with you. You are throwing in the towel when it comes to love.
Well, yeah, she left because he didn't love her. That bitch.
That bitch. One of the best lines in the whole movie.
Delivered by the person I want to talk about next.
Oh,
John Candy. We have not had an opportunity to bring John Candy on this show at any time. We haven't done any. Maybe we've talked about him, but we have not done any of his movies. So this is our big chance. Trent, you love John Candy.
We love John Candy.
We love John Candy. It's one of those guys that's like, damn it, damn it, damn it.
Yeah.
What could have been? What would we have had if he had not been gone so soon? And here he is a young man. He's like 33 in this movie.
Yeah.
And he's coming fresh off of, fucking SCTV, which I didn't even know that show existed for a very, very long time.
Well, of course, it's a Canadian show, but I don't really understand. Eugene Levy also came out of SCTV.
Yeah.
And I don't really know why people know about it in the States.
Well,
because, again, it was very much a Canadian show with all Canadian actors.
I thought it was Second City, and that's actually out of Chicago. But it is a lot of Canadian actors who were on it. So I'm not really sure. Because like I said, I'm not really familiar with SCTV. All I know is in the early 80s, that is the only thing these two guys would have been known for. And for them to be in this major motion picture.
And how the hell did Ron Howard know about these guys?
I don't know. He's in the biz.
At the time. I have no idea. But you're right. John Candy had basically done nothing up until this point, at least in the States. And I don't know if this was his jumping off point, because he's amazing in this movie. He's so funny.
Fucking funny. He's a pervert, and
I love it.
His character is a little problematic these days, but they could almost edit around it and it would be fine. There's him looking up women's skirts at the beginning.
Sure.
Which might have been cute and funny in the 80s, but it's no, also, we don't do that now.
When you're a boy, fine, whatever.
When you're a little boy, but he does it when he's a grown-ass man.
Yes.
And he's very excited about, Penthouse printed his letter.
Yeah, the Penthouse printed my letter in the, what did he call it? Lesbians, turn back or something like that. It's for the 80s, it's a funny joke.
It is, but if you can overlook those two things, there's a lot of things where he's just speaking Swedish and he's talking about having a 12-inch penis.
Yeah, because
it's the only Swedish he knows.
He watched a bunch of Swedish porn, and there's a guy in the film that is talking about his Johnson. Come on.
Yeah. if we remove those elements, he's his big brother who is just tormenting him and, body slamming him and putting him in headlocks.
Yeah.
And he is being John Candy. He is this larger than life personality who is just winning over women. Like in that bar, he just starts chatting up these two ladies and he's like, hang on, I'm going to go talk to my brother and then we'll whisper secrets to each other later. And he's just laughing and they love this man.
Yeah.
And he is not... he is the definition of that situation where you always look at like TV shows where it's the schlubby husband and the beautiful wife.
Yeah.
Because he's fucking hilarious. Women love to laugh. And I don't think John Candy...
Girls like funny guys.
John Candy never had a problem getting women to like him because he has so much fucking personality and that is who he is playing in this movie.
I mean, I hate to compare actors like this, but I just kept on thinking about Chris Farley.
Same thing.
And the same thing. He was just larger than life. He had so much energy. He was so fucking funny. And he lived super hard. Like, he drank himself. He took so many drugs. He had so many women around him. It was insane how he was living at the time.
And I don't think John Candy kind of lived his life that way.
He didn't, but he did have that kind of personality that attracted a lot of different people. But tragically, John Candy died young of a heart attack.
Yeah, he was like 44 or something.
Yeah, he was super young.
From this movie to the time he died, look at his fucking filmography.
Yeah.
He
Hit
cranked
after
them
hit.
out. This is just the beginning. This movie just scratches the surface of what he was capable of.
Yeah.
And it's just, when you see his name, you didn't know he was in this movie.
No, of course
and
not.
his name appeared in the titles and you went, hell yeah,
John Candy. We, like I said, we have not seen any John Candy movies for this show, and we have a list of them. We want to watch more. Like, I want to see Uncle Buck. Uncle Buck was a movie that my cousins just raved about. It was their favorite movie of all time when they were kids. So I want to watch it.
It was in the rotation constantly.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is great in this movie. And then we touched on Eugene Levy. He is like the weird element of this movie where he is just kind of, for lack of a better phrase, the mad scientist.
He's also the plot device.
He's
Mr. Plot Device. He moves the story along from beat to beat, but he's never explained what his deal is.
Yeah, how did he get here? How does he just find them in the middle of the city of New York?
That's my biggest question with him. They're there 6 days, and you find all this out on day like 4, and you find him immediately.
In the middle of Manhattan.
In the middle of New York City.
Yeah.
Let alone Manhattan.
I don't know. They have some convenient plot holes where he is just able to track them down and find parking.
Oh, sure. Well, there was even one point in the movie where Tom Hanks gets called by the cop shop, and he's brought in, and he double parks in front of the cop shop and gets out to go get her.
Yeah, just picks up his lady.
Sure.
A lot of double parking happens in this movie, let's be real.
It was the 80s. It was before people actually gave a shit about New York City.
They hadn't cleaned it up yet. There's a lot of porno places in this movie.
Well, yeah, like so many different theaters with movies of the era that were playing at this time.
A lot of them that we've covered for this podcast.
Yeah, there was the Evil Dead,
Raiders of the Lost Ark,
Raiders,
The Outsiders.
The Outsiders, yeah.
Yeah, that was an interesting thing. But then there's, like
right
a triple feature of porno.
Right next door is the porno theater.
So it's the perfect place for Freddie, John Candy's character, to be. But to bring it back to Eugene Levy, you're right. He's on the beach when Tom Hanks shows up in Cape Cod.
Cape Cod, yeah.
And he's apparently looking for a mermaid. He is a scientist, he's a biologist, but he's like a cryptozoologist because he believes all of these stories about mermaids and Sasquatch and crap like that.
Did they actually get into that, though?
They didn't.
Because at the beginning, when we see him, he has all this equipment that he is bringing out of his truck into the water. We don't know what the equipment is. He has a couple of Choco Fox along with him, and he's out on the boat, he's diving, he's going along I guess there's a reef along Cape Cod that I did not know about.
Yeah, I don't know that that's really logical.
It's really not.
I hadn't considered the coral reefs outside. Now, I am also not a marine biologist.
And we don't know anything about Cape Cod.
I don't know shit about Cape Cod.
We did get asked to see if we wanted to go on a lobster tour, though.
When
we were in Boston.
No. A lobster tour.
Lobster tour.
Lobster tour.
Yeah, literally, we were on our honeymoon. We were off the coast of somewhere in Massachusetts, somewhere. and some dude saw we were with a group of people, and they asked us, "Hey, you want to go on a lobster tour?
I got a guy with a boat.
I got a guy with a boat to take you out."
My friends and I, to this day, and that was like 10 plus years ago.
Over 10 years ago, yeah.
We still go, "Hey, you want to go on a lobster tour?" Anyway, we are way off topic. Eugene Levy, he's going on a boat with his equipment. We don't know what equipment this is. We don't know why he's going in the water.
Yeah.
He gets down there and he sees the mermaid. He's like, the mermaid. Like he expected to find it here somehow.
And he just like fumbles with his camera and he can't get it out in time. And it's comedy. It's comedy.
It's his mission for the rest of the movie because she shows up naked at the Statue of Liberty.
Sure.
Ends up on the front page of some gossip rag. And he sees her picture and identifies her.
And obviously it's her because
obviously
he only sees her like for half a second through a porthole in his equipment.
Yes, he knows exactly who this is and exactly how to find her with no trouble whatsoever.
Yeah.
And he makes it his mission the rest of the movie to just chase her around and throw water on her to reveal her to the world.
Yeah.
And of course, it's a series of misadventures. He's the B plot where he keeps getting his ass kicked because he keeps fucking up who he's throwing water at.
Yeah, because he does it twice to some dude and he like breaks his arm.
It's the same guy twice, beats him up.
Yeah, and again, all of this is happening within the course of how much time? Also, he can get an appointment at a dentist?
Yes, because his tooth is chipped and he needs to.
Jesus.
But you know, and by the end of the movie, he realizes the error of his ways. He actually sees her looking all sad and her scales are like getting all wonky.
She's rotting in that tank.
She is falling apart and having a bad time, and he makes it his mission to rescue her. So he tries to make it right.
He doesn't, but he tries.
No, the last we see of him, he falls down an open manhole.
Of course.
One of those basement doors when they're loading equipment in New York City. Everybody's got one because you got to get the stuff down to the basement somehow.
That's right.
And he just says, "I'm having such a week."
Such a week.
So it's like over the top comedic nonsense.
It's that kind of style of comedy from the 80s that he would be used to.
Well, and I read something in here that said they were trying to evoke older comedies, like from the 1940s, the screwball comedy things, which can and cannot translate in 1984. There are elements of it that work, but it's almost so goofy that it's like, why is this happening? It kind of almost took me out of it because it's just really cliche and silly. He's in costume, mopping the floor, and then he is like smashing the fire hose and he like hoses people down. Like it's so over the top.
He's almost doing a Mickey Rooney impression of like the really, really old style Hollywood movies where he's like almost going over the line of racism, but not actually going there.
Well, he's
not in this movie.
He's not doing anything racist, but it's that extreme place.
Yes, it's that kind of an attitude and that kind of performance that he's going for here.
Yeah, it doesn't fit with everything else in the movie.
It's almost a Nutty Professor thing.
A little bit. It's a little over the top. Like it works, but almost doesn't.
Yeah. And I think you give credit to Eugene Levy to know what the line is. And again, he's a minor character. It doesn't matter that much what's going on here. He is there to move the plot along, and you can brush aside the rest of the stuff.
I also just appreciate the fact that most people for our generation, our age, didn't know who Eugene Levy was until American Pie came out. Like my point of reference for him was American Pie.
1999, 15 years after this.
And then, now most people know him from Schitt's Creek. Like, you ask people 20 and younger, that's what they're going to say they know him from.
Totally.
But he goes so far back. This is 40 years ago.
Yeah.
And he was around and in the business.
Eugene Levy was born in 1946, the same year as my father.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And he's got such a youthful personality that even now...
He gets it.
He's just got this absolutely niche personality and humor type.
But he finds the section of comedy where he can fit that into.
He works it into whatever he's doing.
Exactly.
He never feels out of place.
Yeah.
Even in this, where I'm like, he kind of is out of place.
It's true.
But I don't know. I don't know why I'm like okay with this, but also I hate this. I don't know. I'm struggling.
Yeah, it's like dipping your toe in the water of over here and then
turning into a fish lady.
Sure. All right, I want to talk more about the fish lady part, and there was a big controversy a few years ago, Betsy, about the release of this movie on Disney+.
Oh, I remember this trend.
Yeah.
We talked before we started recording about this.
Indeed. And Betsy, apparently they fixed the problem.
Yeah, so when this was announced, they announced Disney Plus, and they said, but we're not going to just have Disney, we're going to have some other things, including Splash. But because it's a platform geared more to kids, they were like...
And Disney Plus did not have their parental controls set in the app yet. It was so new, they just wanted to kick it out there during the pandemic so they could start making a little scratch.
And have content on it that everyone could watch.
Exactly. So, this being 1984, we didn't have the PG-13 rating yet. This movie is rated PG.
But this movie has butts and tits.
Yeah.
And so
and like a lot of them.
And in the original version that they put on Disney Plus, there was this big controversy because the first time we see her out on the beach kissing Tom Hanks, she runs into the water and her bare ass is hanging out. Now she's got this long, wild blonde hair.
Yeah.
But it only goes down part of her back, so you saw her bare butt.
Yeah,
and in the original cut that they put on Disney Plus, they did like the shittiest job covering her ass with fake hair.
Yeah, they added CG hair to that scene and that scene alone. The rest of the scenes they just cut out completely because when she gets to the Statue of Liberty, there's just a bare ass there. And then she goes underwater at some other point after she meets Tom Hanks for the first time. She goes to this like sunken ship out in the middle, again, Cape Cod.
Yeah, why not?
And like is fucking around over there looking at a map or something.
Like nobody would have found this wreckage.
Of course. But there's just bare tits here.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Nipples are out everywhere, bare asses. And I was very confused because I was like, wait, didn't they fix this? They did.
Yeah.
However, the thing we didn't know was...
Last year they put out a 4K version of this and they put it out in its original cut.
Yeah, they probably did that once they figured out, the parental controls. Like you can say, nope, you can't watch this movie.
Yeah,
or yes,
it doesn't matter if it says PG. They have all these different tags on these movies where if it has smoking or if it has violence or if it has these specific things, you can filter that out for your kids.
Because now they're hosting R-rated movies.
Yeah.
Like Deadpool is on there now.
Yep.
Why, if we're going to put Deadpool on there, are we so concerned about Daryl Hannah's ass?
Yeah.
So that was a funny thing because I honestly didn't know. Like, I still thought it looked like they did something in this cut.
But then the more we got into the movie, the more we realized, wait, she's just fucking naked on screen right now. They didn't do a shit with this. But then afterwards, I did go and find some articles I think it was last year, December, where they put out the original cut in 4K.
Got it.
And I mean, I'm not shy to say I was looking very hard at her ass very early in the movie, and it's like, okay, like you can see some kind of crack there. They didn't really do a very good job here.
This is analytical. We are staring at the butt.
That's
for
right.
Science.
For science. It's for science, Betsy, for the content. But yeah, I didn't see anything weird there, but then she went underwater again and then there's boobs there. It's okay. I guess that's okay. For Disney Plus.
So speaking of underwater, she spends a lot of time in the water in this movie.
Yeah.
And I have to applaud that she is actually doing a really good job remembering to act while she's underwater.
Also, in a lot of different movies where people are underwater, actors have a hard time not breathing and not allowing some kind of air to come out of their mouths. There's no bubbles that come out of her mouth at all that I saw.
Either they're really good at editing or she was really good at doing the underwater stuff because she's like opening her mouth and smiling, which that act alone, you can imagine somebody like just kind of blowing bubbles. You can't help it. You're underwater. You don't know.
And there was also something I read that she has this fin on that weighs 35 pounds.
That is an impressive fin. It looks incredible.
And while they were filming, the way Daryl Hannah swims is dolphin style. And when she had the fin on, she was outpacing the crew members who were trying to chase her and film her.
Well, you can actually see that too. Like there's the shot at the beginning where she comes face to face with Eugene Levy and he's fumbling around with the camera and she takes off. She's going pretty fast.
Yeah, and that's her.
That's really her really going. They didn't speed it up or shit. Like she got moving through the water. She became what is the word? It's not aerodynamic. In the water, what do you call that?
I don't know.
There's got to be a different word for aerodynamic. Is it aquadynamic?
Sure, why not?
I don't know. I don't understand the English language
I've never seen Aquaman. I don't know what that is.
But speaking of the English language, she also learns that in this movie by watching TV for 6 hours, including Richard Simmons.
Richard Simmons, thank you.
That was an interesting, very specific 1984 reference for us.
Yeah, if you don't know who Richard Simmons is...
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you, number one? And number two, is Richard Simmons even something you can reference these days and people understand? Because even in the 90s, he was starting to kind of be forgotten about? I don't know.
I mean, once you got past the age of like home videos and people were, on the internet and there was a lot of like technology boom, people stopped buying his shit.
And other kinds of exercise videos came out and supplanted him. Like, remember Tybo?
Oh my God, Tybo.
Yeah. Billy Blanks,
Tybo.
Again,
buy the 8 DVD set.
All you youngins out there don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
Well, there was also like a lot of kickboxing, like dance kickboxing, and a lot of weird videos like that he just became kind of passé. But in 1984, Richard Simmons was the shit.
He was the shit.
And she watched him and was exercising. They're trying to kick her out of the store because, they're closing. And they're like, she's exercising. We'll just give her a minute.
And like, okay, as long as we talk about the store, like Bloomingdale's. Bloomingdale's, I understand, was a really, really big deal because it is mentioned in a lot of movies, and apparently they did film there.
It's one of the flagship stores to this day in New York.
Now, is Bloomingdale's more of like a department store? Like, okay, they specialize in some areas like, makeup and jewelry and clothing, but it also has like television sets like this? Like, is it kind of a Sears?
Sort of. It's definitely one of those with different departments, but they're massive. Like, massive. Like, you can go over there and get a tailor-made suit. And you can go over to the bridal section and the lingerie section.
We got beds over here.
Lingerie, 3rd floor, everyone off now.
Right.
That kind of a thing.
Right.
They probably have a fucking cafeteria inside, too.
And it's such an old-timey thing because, like, Sears itself doesn't exist anymore, but it was the store where you could go and buy kind of everything. You got clothing, you got appliances, you got beds, you got like power tools and like exercise equipment, basically everything for your home.
Well, and that's just New York City. Like all of those big stores, the Macy's, the Bloomingdale's, that's where they started, man.
Yeah.
They are massive landmark establishments that are there to this day. And if those places, if that particular location,
retail space goes under, we're real fucked.
Yeah. So they're still hanging on as far as I know. Most of them are.
What is Bloomingdale's now? Is it just like ladies' clothing and that's it?
All of the above. It's all of those things. It's still all there. It's just shopping now is different than it used to be.
Next time we go to New York, we're going to have to visit. What is it? Is it the Fifth Avenue? Is that what it is?
The Fifth Avenue stores. I think so. I think they're all around there because they're all like down the block from each other.
When we were there, the one and only time we were there together, I think we went alongside Fifth Avenue, but we didn't actually go into any stores because we had just like walked halfway down Central Park or something.
We had walked like 6 miles already.
We had walked a lot.
It's like, I want to go to the hotel, but I can't walk anymore right now.
We hopped on a bus. I guess it was free. I mean, I didn't pay anything.
Well, we had the pass.
Did we have the pass?
Yeah. We had a day pass.
Anyway, we hopped on the bus and we rode that to the other side of Central Park and got back to our hotel.
And we got back where we started.
Anyway, again, off topic.
All right, well, we've covered a lot of ground here, but are there any other specific things from this movie that you definitely want to talk about before we wrap this up?
I mean, I would say there are a few very minor things I just had thoughts on. Number one is the point where Tom Hanks is drunk at this bar after this wedding, and he gets into a cab and tells the cab, I want to go to Cape Cod. Are you kidding me? That's like 300 miles. Are you fucking kidding me? You got cash for it? I'll take you there. Can you actually take a cab from New York to Cape Cod?
I mean, I feel like yes. If the
cab
cab
driver licensed to go that far, I have no idea.
If the cab driver is game, like I have heard stories of people taking cab rides an obscene distance.
Yeah,
I just don't know the average cabbie is going to go for it. They will probably just kick you out of their cab and find the next fare.
Yeah, I've heard of celebrities like doing something like that. Like, I don't care what the amount of money it is, just take me there, and they'll do it.
And in the age of Uber and Lyft, now it's maybe more likely that they would do it.
I don't know
if they
if
want
they're
to be
even
competitive.
allowed. I mean, there are like different restrictions on like what states that you're allowed to operate in, and maybe even towns. I don't know.
I also don't know. But you brought up that scene in the bar. I fucking love when he wakes up with his face in pretzels. He is peak Tom Hanks. Oh, no! That thing he does. Where it's just like, if you are doing an impression of Tom Hanks, that's basically the 5-second impression that you will be doing.
I think you're right. I also wanted to call something out and call you out on something,
oh,
Betsy.
Oh, no! What'd I do?
At the beginning of the movie, we are brought into Tom Hanks's office, and John Candy's coming in there saying, why do you got all this shit on your desk? We got people coming in. I got business to conduct. And he says, I have a system for the desk. That's you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I am not a forgetful person. I am not an organized person.
You are a messy person who has a system.
I am organized chaos. Like, that pile over there can't go away because I'm still using those things. It may look like a mess to you, but I know what's in the mess.
Oh, it's a mess.
Shut up. You love me.
I do
Shut up.
Well, the last thing I had, as long as we're talking about all this romance in the air, is the fact that this is a romantic comedy. It doesn't necessarily follow every single trope of a romantic comedy, but some of them are there.
Oh, it does enough anyway. Yeah, it has the meet cute.
Yep.
They have the wacky best friend. Mm-hmm. You have the misunderstanding.
You have the obligatory breakup scene where when it's raining, he goes off by himself and she goes off by herself, and it's raining and there's sad music playing, and yeah, it's a whole thing.
Oh, and if you time this, my brother came up with this theory called the 15-minute obligatory breakup.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter if it's a breakup or something else. There is something that you can time almost to the minute.
It's a scientific fact.
From when they get separated to the big finale, and it is almost always 15 minutes. Like, I dare you. I want you to sometime, when you're watching a rom-com, time it. From the time they part to the big finale, it will almost always be 15 minutes. I can't explain why this is. I just know it's science. It's
works.
A fact.
It's science because it works.
But yes, we enjoy a good rom-com. We haven't done too many of them. I would rank this one as one of the better ones, though.
Yeah.
And it has aged well. Like, sometimes they don't always age well. For 40 years removed, this could be a hot mess.
You could say that, okay, Tom Hanks is just taking advantage of her, and if it was a different kind of a character, maybe they would have went there. But no, he is being the polite gentleman for as much as he can when Daryl Hannah is throwing herself at you.
And sticking her tongue in your throat.
Right. And then you're going up the elevator and you hit stop so you can fuck on the elevator.
Oh, yeah.
Then you go back into the apartment and start fucking again.
They never show them doing that.
No, because this is a PG movie.
However, there's that joke where she's in the bathroom and she's like, I'm shy. And he's like, in the elevator, in the back of the car, in my living room. Now you're shy.
I'm shy.
Yeah, it's a really charming movie. It's really cute. It makes me laugh. It makes me smile.
Yeah.
I'm glad you liked it, and I'm glad we picked this one for our first in the Tom Hanks series.
But Betsy, Hanksgiving continues.
Hanksgiving does not stop here.
And it ain't gonna be all sunshine and rainbows, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, we're immediately going to shift gears very hard, because in the 90s, I'm not gonna lie, we've seen almost every movie Tom Hanks made in the 90s.
Yeah.
But there is one that we have not seen.
Neither of us.
Neither of us. And so the next one we're going to be doing, I'm very sorry to say, is a downer. We're doing Philadelphia.
Don't say you're sorry. I'm sure it's going to be a great movie.
I think it's
just going to be a different kind of a movie.
After watching Splash, it's going to be a hard left turn.
You're right.
So just ready yourselves, fans. But we would love to hear what you think about Splash before we get to that movie.
And about Tom Hanks in general.
And about Tom Hanks. Who doesn't love Tom Hanks? If you send us an email and tell us you hate Tom Hanks, I need the facts and I need to tell you you're wrong. But email us, neverseenitpod@gmail.com. We can be found on all the social media. Send us a message on there if you like. And we have one such email from our superfan Stephanie about our recent movie Pleasantville. So another one from the 90s before we get there once again with Tom Hanks. She begins, I really like this movie. I have seen it a few times, but it has been too long. I love Don Knotts. The Ghost in Mr. Chicken is one of my mom's favorites, and we watch it every few years.
Speaking of Ron Howard.
Yeah.
I just got that. Yeah.
You hadn't made that connection. Well, there's another guy in this movie. Didn't you say he was on one of those shows, Andy Griffith or something?
Yeah, the guy in this like meeting room after Eugene Levy gets yelled at.
The scientist guy.
The other scientist guy. He not only was on the Andy Griffith show, but he is also I had to look this up because his voice sounded so familiar. He has a voice on the Garfield and Friends show, not the Garfield part of it. It is the
Friends.
Yeah, the Friends, the farm thing.
Yeah.
He plays the duck.
And I believe you, but I haven't seen that show since I was a child, so
man.
I cannot remember what he sounds like.
Anyway, his voice is very, very distinctive. But yeah, he was on Andy Griffith and he was on that show amongst a lot of other voice work he did.
Well, there you go. But yes, Don Knotts. Have you seen The Ghost in Mr. Chicken? You said you'd seen a number of his movies.
No, I haven't seen that one. Like Incredible Mr. Limpet was the one that I saw a bunch.
And maybe something else.
Maybe something else I can't remember. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I would love to explore more of his movies. I am sure they are all goofy and very silly and very 1960s.
Oh, yeah.
But it is a very specific, charming kind of humor. She continues, fucking Paul Walker in a car. Isn't that how everyone changes?
I mean, sure.
I mean, oddly enough,
1990s Paul Walker, though.
He did more of that in this movie than any of the Fast and Furious movies. He never did that in a car in those movies.
No, he did not, because in the first movie, he got with Mia in his trailer.
And then we know they have sex because they have 2 children in this series.
Well, yeah.
But I'm pretty sure they are never shown doing that the rest of the series.
It's just implied.
She says, I do not understand kids these days. I have accepted that I do not understand. However, there are some total little shits out there, and I have zero patience for teens like that.
Yeah, you could say that about any generation. Our generation were a bunch of little shits at one point.
Everyone goes through that. And then when you get old, all you can say is, look at those little shits.
Exactly.
That's just a problem about getting old.
It's a universal fact of life.
She continues, fuck Whitey, he is the worst.
Betsy said it, not me.
I love the way this movie looks. It is gorgeous. The combination of color and black and white is so pretty.
Oh yeah.
This movie is so clever with all of the layers and references. I think they do such a good job of making the point in a multi-dimensional way. The cast is so good, I love all of them. Anywho, I like this movie, and now I want to rewatch it. You should definitely do that, Stephanie, because you know what? You're almost to the end of October. All your spooky movies, you'll need something else to watch. Speaking of, she says it is still October, and we have been doing really good with our spooky movies. So we're now in October 22nd. I think we've skipped a couple of her emails to give the status update, but you can piece them all together when you go back and listen. So the most recent 4 as of this email, VHS, Fall of the House of Usher, which is a limited series, Hocus Pocus 2, Fear Street Part 1, 1994. I don't know what that last one is, and I only have heard of the Fall of the House of Usher recently.
Yeah, Fall of the House of Usher is that thing on Netflix. I've heard good things about it, but I want to know, Stephanie, please, tell us what you thought about Hocus Pocus 2, because I think Betsy and I were a little bit too gun-shy about that one.
We are so apprehensive of actually watching it.
I feel like they're just going to ruin the first Hocus Pocus for me.
Or I'm going to pretend the second never existed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like it's going to ruin things.
We are in this era that people are making way, way, way overdue sequels. And unless it's Top Gun Maverick, it almost never works.
You're right.
She finishes, we've not finished Fall of the House of Usher yet, but we are liking it so far. My husband had to work last night, so I decided to watch a slasher movie and had never seen the Fear Street movies. I liked the first one. I don't know what that is.
I've never heard of it.
I've never heard of that. She finishes, love you guys, superfan Stephanie.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Yeah, she has such a breadth of knowledge that I do not have about horror movies. And maybe if you just start clicking around and, click next, you might like this. We suggest.
We are fine. Oh, we're done with Never Scream It, but every time we do it, I find myself really gravitating towards some kinds of movies, but not others.
My fear, to use that metaphor, I guess, is that I'm going to get excited about it, and then something is genuinely going to scare me, and it's going to scare me off doing them.
No, I don't know about that, because I just
if we do them too much.
I just don't scare easily. It's not my thing.
And that's why we pick the movies that we do.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, I can handle maybe one. Like maybe one scary one.
What I want, the two movies that we did for that series 2 years in a row were the Ari Aster movies.
Which are more modern.
Yeah.
Or which people who truly love horror are very divided on those.
Right, because they're not horror movies.
They're a metaphor.
They're fucked up. There's no other way to describe it. They're just fucked up.
And they're also a metaphor for something else.
Yeah. So if you're going to give me any kind of recommendations on other movies to cover, maybe outside of Never Scream It, give us some recommendations like those movies, and maybe we'll even do them. I don't know.
We just need to dip back into the A24 pantheon. Last year, we did a lot of A24 movies.
We made a whole category in our award series, Best A20, or no, we did Most A24 Movie, excuse me.
And we haven't really done that many this year, weirdly.
No, we haven't.
Last year, it was kind of an accident.
Yeah.
We were making a running joke. Oh my God, it's another A24.
Yeah.
But we cleaned up so many that now it's like, oh.
I don't think we're going to have that category this year.
Probably not, because I think we've only done one or two.
By the way, there's going to be another award show at the end of the year.
It's coming, guys.
Yeah.
We wouldn't disappoint you.
Coming along with a giant announcement that I'm not going to say anything about yet.
Shh, quiet, you. Anyway, thank you, Stephanie, as always, for sending us emails. That email, again, if you would like to be like our superfan Stephanie, neverseenitpod@gmail.com. Reach out to us on social media, share our posts, tell your friends about us. Go to the app where you are listening to this podcast, rate us 5 stars, write us a review. All of those things help get us in front of more people.
Hell yeah.
So that's going to do it for Splash, but Hanksgiving is just beginning, everyone. We're going to continue.
'Tis the season.
We're going to continue next Wednesday with Philadelphia. We've got some other random movies on the Sundays in November.
It's also almost Oscar season.
We're trying to get a few of those out of the way because in the next weeks, a lot of those are becoming available.
Yeah.
It's the end of the... Why are we already in the end of the year? I don't know how that happened.
Betsy, as we record this, it is snowing outside.
Shut your mouth.
God damn it.
I refuse to put on my winter coat until it is absolutely necessary. And when we're recording in October... It is not necessary. I will be stubborn about this. But yes, look forward to all those episodes in November. But until that time, this has been another episode of Never Seen It. My name is Betsy.
And my name is Trent.
And we will see you next time.
Happy Hanksgiving!